Welcome to my Bake Escapes. This is my travel vlog. We recently went to Mexico City and had the best time, and I'm really excited to share some of our experience with you, as well as some of the delicious food and treats that we enjoyed while visiting Mexico City. We flew on Aeromexico out of San Francisco. It was a direct flight and it took us about 5 hours to get to Mexico City. And since it was such a long flight, they served us dinner, which was nice. They had a salad, a brownie, and they also had cutlery and snacks. And they served a ham and cheese sandwich that needed this mustard. Overall, it was pretty tasty. Once we landed in Mexico City, getting through immigration was really quick. Our luggage took a little bit of time, but once we received our bags, we went out to catch our ride. We arranged for a private transportation to our bed and breakfast. We stayed in Colonia Condesa, which is a neighborhood in Mexico City. We have visited Mexico City before, and we did stay in the same neighborhood and had such a nice time. This time, however, we booked a bed and breakfast at the Red Tree House, which is highly rated on TripAdvisor. The cost is very reasonable. I think we paid about $800 for 5 nights, which is not bad at all considering the wonderful service, the clean rooms, and the delicious food that they served daily. We arrived after 9 p.m. and we were very tired, but I did get a chance to record a little bit of the room. It is a nice size. The bed was fairly comfortable and the bathroom was pretty small, but we were able to manage the days that we were there. The one thing I do want to note is that there is no air conditioning, at least not in this room. They did have a fan, and when it was warm, we just opened the balcony door and we were able to cool down the room pretty quickly. I know previously people had said that there were mosquitoes. We didn't encounter any issues with mosquitoes during our stay. It is so peaceful and quiet, so we got some sleep, and the next morning we woke up nice and early. It was a beautiful day and we started our day by exploring. So we walked around the Red Tree House, and our room was on the second level inside the main house, and the name of our room was El Balcón, I believe, which is like the balcony room, and this is the entrance to the room. They have various dining rooms, places to sit and relax. They have a library of books that you can borrow. So many different areas to just hang out, indoors and outdoors. Every day they serve a wonderful breakfast. They have cereal, yogurt, fresh baked pastries, fruit, fresh squeezed orange juice, and fresh brewed coffee that was delicious. They do rotate their menu daily. So our first day they offered this delicious omelet. So this is an omelet with zucchini, corn, and a salsa. After breakfast, I decided to take some video of the neighborhood. We were waiting for an Uber to take us to our excursion for the day, and so this is the neighborhood we stayed in. So we took an Uber to Chapultepec Park Forest, and we decided that we wanted to spend this morning visiting the Museo Nacional de Antropología, which is the anthropology museum. We had visited this museum previously, and it was really looking forward to returning because I was so impressed by the architecture and the overall layout of this museum. There are so many exhibits indoors and outdoors. It is just a very beautiful museum that I enjoyed visiting for the second time. They also have a pretty amazing gift shop that's full of household items like decorations and plates and cups. They also have treats like honey and coffee and salsas, a wide variety of books and textiles like scarves and shirts, and you can spend quite a lot of time and money in this shop. After spending some time in the museum, we made our way to the Starbucks in the entrance of Bosque de Chapultepec, which is Chapultepec Forest Park. This Starbucks is so cool. It's kind of indoors and outdoors, and it has 2 live trees growing inside. I am always impressed when I visit Starbucks outside of the US by the menu and the offerings. They have some pretty cool desserts that I don't see in the US. This Starbucks is definitely one to visit if you are in Mexico City. It's beautiful, and we enjoyed our time relaxing and enjoying our coffee. I also wanted to show you the different types of sugars that they had available. My typical order is a cold brew with a splash of half and half or cream, and I enjoyed it. After our coffee, we made our way to Bosque de Chapultepec, which is Chapultepec Park Forest, and we just explored and enjoyed the nature. This park is so amazing. It is actually really big. It is the oldest and largest urban park in Latin America and one of the oldest urban parks in the world. It is double the size of Central Park in New York City, and the name means on the hill of the grasshopper. There are so many stalls that we noticed selling treats and refreshments, and a lot of people were buying and wearing these cute monkeys. I thought I had to show you that because they're just very popular. So we spent a good amount of time exploring the nature. This park is filled with birds, trees, fountains, and like I mentioned, a lot of delicious food options. There are also several museums in the park. There is this place that we visited last time. It is the Audiorama. It is an outdoor music amphitheater where you can go and relax and listen to music playing on these speakers. It is such a cool place. While we were there, I saw people napping, reading books. I even saw a young man doing yoga. It was a nice, relaxing time that we spent in this area of the park. This park is full of activities. People were renting paddle boats on the lake. There were people hiking, boxing, riding bikes, so much to do. After a few hours, we exited the park and we made our way to Colonia Polanco, which is another neighborhood in Mexico City. This neighborhood is, I believe, considered high-end. They have a lot of high-end shops. They even had an Orange Theory fitness location, which I was surprised to see. But we came here for one reason, and that was to enjoy a delicious lunch. We visited Órale Milanga, which is in Colonia Polanco. This place is highly rated on Yelp and TripAdvisor, and they are known for their milanesas, which is a thin breaded piece of meat that is fried, and they make sandwiches out of them. I was impressed by the decor of the restaurant, the cleanliness, and the variety of options they had. They had a clean restroom, service was amazing, and it was nice and cool inside. We both ordered sandwiches. I ordered the pork milanesa with fries, and we also ordered the beef milanesa with a side salad. Both were delicious. The portions are very big at this restaurant. We could have easily shared one sandwich, as I didn't even finish half of mine, but we enjoyed our meal. After that delicious lunch, we went back to our room and we rested for a while, and around dinner time, we were still full from lunch, so we decided to hold off on eating dinner, and instead we went out for a delicious sweet treat. so we visited El Moro. It's Churreria El Moro. They have been around since 1935, and they are known for their delicious churros. They have a wide menu of different options from savory to sweet. We ordered the order of churros with the trio of chocolates. We ordered the chocolate hazelnut, dark chocolate, and vanilla or white chocolate. All were tasty. My favorite was the white chocolate. We really enjoyed the churros here, and if you are in Mexico City, be sure to visit one of the locations. They have a lot of them.
What is that, vanilla?
I think this is
Like dark chocolate?
hazelnut.
We also ordered a seasonal malt. It was a banana flavored malt that was also incredible. After enjoying that delicious sweet treat, we decided to take a walk in a local park, and this park amazed me. It was pretty late. It was after 9 p.m. This park was full of people doing all sorts of activities. There were coffee stands, live music, dance classes, so much going on, and we enjoyed our walk through this park. Spicy.
It has potato and cheese, and then some lettuce, and I think some cotija cheese. And then with that salsa, it's killer. It's delicious.
Our second full day in Mexico City, we arranged for a private tour of the National Museum of History, which is located inside the Chapultepec Castle.
It's a mini volcano here.
The company that we booked for the private tours is Insoli Tours, and we used them last time we visited Mexico City, and they did such a great job that we decided to book them again for this trip. And they do a variety of tours. They will take you to the ruins, and they will also take you to different parts of Mexico City. We really enjoyed our time with Marco. He was our tour guide, and he did such a great job explaining the history of Mexico City, as well as the culture and the changes that have occurred over the years. And he speaks English and Spanish, so it was very useful for us and a great experience overall to have him guiding us. I linked the website to the tour company in the description of this video. Marco picked us up from the Red Tree House and drove us to the park. We went on foot up the hill to the entrance of the castle, and he was very knowledgeable and shared a lot of the history of the castle as well as Mexico City, and we just really enjoyed the tour. And this is one of the most beautiful places that I have visited. The castle is really neat to see, and there's so many murals, and the grounds are immaculate and beautiful. We just had a really good time exploring.
24 million people live in the metropolitan area of Mexico City. 24 million.
After our tour of the castle, we made our way back to Chapultepec Park, and we walked towards an area we hadn't gone before to visit this beautiful fountain. For lunch, we visited El Tizoncito, which is in Colonia Condesa. They are known for their al pastor tacos, and they did not disappoint. The food was delicious. They had a variety of options and it was very clean and the service was amazing. This restaurant claims to be the creator of the al pastor taco, and for those that don't know what al pastor is, they are tacos made of marinated pork that is cooked on a vertical spit roast that is called a trompo. The flavorful meat is served inside a warm corn tortilla, and most times they will add a piece of pineapple from the pineapple that sits on top of the spit, and they are so delicious. So we ordered a couple of the al pastor tacos. I ordered some tacos of rajas en crema, which are green chilies with cream sauce, and we also ordered some guacamole that was delicious. Everything was so tasty. In Mexico, oftentimes they will give you some salsas and a bean dip that is also very tasty, and they have a special salsa in Mexico City called salsa macha that is so flavorful and delicious. I fell in love with that salsa on this trip. After lunch, we went walking through the neighborhood and we went to another Starbucks for an iced tea, and I was really looking for a cup of Mexico City, part of the Been There series, and at the Starbucks I noticed so many cool pastry items that I've not seen in other Starbucks before. I collect the cups from Starbucks. Do you collect these cups? If so, let me know in the comments how many you have so far. For dinner, we visited Bread Boss in Colonia Condesa. They have a lot of different types of chicken sandwiches, and they were also highly rated on TripAdvisor and Yelp. So we ordered a chicken sandwich with a side of fries, and I ordered as my entree this delicious loaded bacon mac and cheese, and I topped it with the most delicious salsa that I've discovered in Mexico City, and it was so tasty. We ended our second full day in Mexico City with a sweet treat. We went to La Michoacana and had some ice cream. Our third day in Mexico City, for breakfast, the Red Tree House served us a mollete, which is a piece of French bread that has ham, beans, and cheese, and it's toasted, and they paired it with the most delicious pico de gallo that I've ever had. I'm telling you, the food at this place is delicious. After breakfast, we caught an Uber down to the downtown area of Mexico City, known as Centro Histórico. It's the historic center of Mexico City. This is our second time visiting Centro Histórico, and last time it was a few years ago. There was a lot of political stuff going on, and this time we just happened across this huge skateboarding competition, so it was kind of cool to see a bunch of people just out and about on their skateboards. There is so much to explore in this area of Mexico City. Lots of shopping if that is your thing, but I enjoyed just looking at all the historic buildings. We finally ended up in Plaza de la Constitución, which is also known as Zócalo, and this church is just so beautiful and the historic buildings surrounding. It was just so cool to be in this area. While in this area, we made sure to visit Dulceria Celaya. This place is over a century old and it is absolutely beautiful, and the sweets that they offer are also beautiful and delicious looking. The line was just a little long. I wasn't able to purchase anything this time, but if I ever return to Mexico City, this is top on my list to try. We continued exploring and stopped into the plaza downtown, also referred to as the Palace of the Counts of Miravalle. This is a historic building known for its 17th century colonial architecture. There are a variety of shops as well as the renowned restaurant Azul Histórico. It is a beautiful building and a must-see if you are ever visiting Mexico City. I decided to do some shopping in this cute boutique that sells teas and chocolates. Our last stop before leaving central Mexico City was Pasteleria Ideal. So this is a huge bakery that is known for so many delicious desserts and fresh baked sweetbread. I was so excited to visit this place, and let me tell you, I was overwhelmed with the variety of delicious desserts and cookies and breads, and there were so many people there, but they were very organized in the way that they arranged for ordering and paying, and I spent so much time pretty much drooling over all the delicious things that I saw in this bakery. According to their website, they were founded in 1927 and they are currently in their 10th decade of uninterrupted operation in Mexico City. They started as a small bakery and now they are a leading company in the baking industry. They have so many different pastries, traditional bread, puff pastry, rustic bread, so many delicious sweet desserts and treats. I was completely in awe of the variety of offerings and how detailed and beautiful the cakes were. After quite some time looking at all of my options, I finally decided what I wanted to purchase were these cookies. They're known as pasta seca, so it's a dry cookie dough, and they make a variety of different cookies with this dough. So I stood in what I thought was the correct line. However, this young lady ahead of me informed me that in order to order these cookies, you go up to the front, you let the lady at the front know how much you want. I ordered half a kilo. Then you take that pink slip to the cash register, you pay that lady over there, and then you get back in line. And then once you go up to the front, you give the nice ladies at the front your ticket showing that you paid, and you get to pick out the cookies that you like. Let me tell you, these women were awesome and how quickly they helped serve so many people that were in line. And I had a good amount of time waiting and deciding which ones I wanted to pick. After waiting about 15 minutes, it was finally my turn, so I gave the ticket to the young lady and she made my box and I was able to pick the cookies that I wanted. So I just pointed to each of the cookies that I wanted, and towards the end I just told her to pick whatever she wanted, because for half a kilo I actually was getting a lot of cookies.
Gracias.
Now that I have my box of cookies, we are heading back to our room. So we made our way back through downtown and caught an Uber back to our room, and then I was able to open up the cookies and enjoy them. These cookies are all made with the same dough. They just create different shapes and fillings. Some have nuts like almonds and some have a glaze, but they are all so buttery and delicious. They kind of remind me of those tin cookies you get around the holidays. The butter cookies, they taste similar to that. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to recreate these cookies. I'd be happy to test them out and share the recipe.
Amsterdam. So this whole street is Amsterdam, and then this pathway is right in the middle of it.
When we travel, we always look at TripAdvisor and Yelp for recommendations for food, and so Mr. Blanco's was highly rated on both, and they serve these mini sliders. It kind of reminded me of a White Castle, but they have a variety of options, and so we went ahead and ordered and had dinner here. And after dinner, we had to go back to Churreria El Moro for a delicious treat. And I was very excited because this time they were actually making the churros fresh, and I could see that through the window. And our last trip, we visited a market. It was an indoor market that had a lot of restaurants, and they also made fresh churros. And now that I think about it, it might have been the same franchise. I'll have to look into that. But it was really neat to see them making these churros fresh. I ordered another batch of the churros, but I just ordered them plain without the chocolate dipping sauces. And this time I ordered a milkshake or the malt again, and I dipped the churros in that banana malt, and it was such a delicious combination. After enjoying the churros, we went back to our room, and just in time because it started to rain pretty hard in Mexico City, which the rain was much needed, so we were happy to see that they were getting the water that they needed. And the next morning we woke up for our last breakfast at the Red Tree House, and it is one of my favorite breakfasts to have in Mexico. These are chilaquiles. They are red chilaquiles with a fried egg, and they were delicious. And that was our time in Mexico City. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you ever visited Mexico City? If so, what were some of the favorite things you saw or did? Let me know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to my channel because next I will be sharing our experience at Hotel Xcaret. We flew to the Cancun area after visiting Mexico City, and we stayed at this beautiful resort, and I am excited to share our experience with you. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and have a sweet day.